Welcome to the Technical Writing Success Video Overview by Kurt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Today we're digging into something called the 6-7 phenomenon. It might sound like a weird classroom trend, but trust me, it reveals a ton about our digital world.
So imagine you're a teacher, or hey, maybe a parent. You're in a classroom and out of nowhere, a student just yells, 6-7. The entire room just explodes in laughter, and you're just standing there thinking, what on earth just happened?
It's got to be a really confusing and honestly kind of isolating experience. And this isn't just about some silly phrase. No, it's about a very real and incredibly fast cultural gap that's being created by this type of viral, context-free humor that almost feels, well, like it's designed to exclude people. Okay, so let's break this all down. We're going to start with the mystery joke itself, then we'll dissect how these memes are even born. After that, we'll take a look at the deep history of how media has always been changing us. Then, we'll pit the classroom against the algorithm, and finally, we'll ask the big question, who's actually winning this battle for our attention? And just so you know, our guide for this whole thing is a really insightful article called The 6-7 Phenomenon. It was written by Bob Hutchins and published over on LinkedIn. All right, let's start right there, in that classroom moment. A moment where what seems like a simple little joke is actually doing something pretty powerful. It's creating a social dynamic of who's in and who's out.
So here's the play-by-play, right? A student shouts the phrase. All their friends, the ones who are in on it, they all laugh. The teacher, the authority figure in the room, asks for the context they're obviously missing. But here's the thing. There's no real explanation to give. The humor isn't in the meaning. It's in the shared, unspoken reference. The teacher is left on the outside, and not by accident. It's literally by the design of the joke itself.
Okay, so how did this whole thing even get started? To really get a handle on this phenomenon, we've got to trace how a totally random phrase went from being a song lyric to a huge cultural signal. It all began with a song from an artist named Skrilla. Then, some creator on TikTok edited that lyric over a clip of the 6'7" basketball player LaMelo Ball, and it started to pick up steam in sports and meme circles. But the real spark, the thing that lit the fuse, was a clip from a youth basketball game where a young kid just yells 6-7 right into the camera. That was the tipping point. That's when the sound became a massive trend for Gen Alpha. And this right here, this principle, is so interesting. This is basically the unwritten rule of the entire TikTok environment. It doesn't matter if something makes logical sense. Not at all. What matters is that it's new, it's surprising, and it spreads like wildfire. It's a whole economy built on just pure, unfiltered novelty.
But this whole rewiring of our attention, it's not totally new. What we're seeing today is really just a super accelerated version of a pattern that's been going on for over 100 years, every single time a new communication technology pops up. And this just illustrates that history perfectly. Think about it. The telegraph back in the 1840s gave us speed, but we lost a lot of context. Then radio in the 1920s collapsed distances, which kind of eroded local culture. Television in the 60s made images more important than text. And today, TikTok takes all of those things, speed, visuals, global reach, and throws in a powerful new ingredient, infinite remixability.
So you hear people complain about brain rot, and it's a tempting thing to say, but it's not really an accurate diagnosis. What's really happening is a logical, even predictable adaptation. Young people are just getting really, really good at navigating the media world they were literally born into.
And this brings us right back to the classroom, which has pretty much become the main battleground between two completely opposite systems. Each one has a totally different idea for what the future of focus should look like.
So on one side, you've got the classroom. Its whole purpose is to build deep, shared understanding. It values things making sense, it follows a logical structure, and fundamentally, it's designed to slow things down so that real meaning has a chance to actually grow. And on the other side, you have the algorithm. Its goals could not be more different. It rewards speed and even absurdity. It's optimized for the shock of the new. It's built to make money off of attention by making context totally irrelevant, and it wants one thing above everything else, for you to keep on scrolling. So here's the crucial point. A teacher sees this whole thing as a student acting out, as a discipline problem, but at its core, it's not really that. It's a fundamental clash that was created by media design. The students are just caught in the middle of two really powerful opposing training systems.
So if this is a fight, then who's winning?
Well, the answer gets pretty obvious when you just look at the resources that each side has.
This slide says it all, doesn't it? You have a single teacher standing in a room trying to encourage deep focus, and they are competing against a global machine. A machine that has been meticulously engineered by the world's absolute top behavioral psychologists, backed by billions of dollars with the single-minded goal of capturing and holding that child's attention. It's an incredibly lopsided fight.
And that brings us to this provocative, but really powerful conclusion from the author. We shouldn't be blaming the kids. They aren't broken. Actually, they're incredibly well trained. They are responding perfectly to the rewards and the rules of the most powerful training system in their lives.
The problem isn't the student, it's the training itself. It's this whole environment that rewards a fleeting novel moment over any kind of lasting meaning. And we have to remember, this environment, this digital trainer, it didn't just show up out of nowhere. We built it.
Which leaves all of us with a final and pretty unsettling question to think about. I mean, the 6-7 joke is just one little symptom. The real issue is so much bigger. What are the long-term consequences for a society when our main tools for talking to each other are actively designed to devalue and maybe even prevent the creation of any shared meaning?
Thank you so much for watching this overview. This is where we help you get smarter than your competition. Please subscribe to the Technical Writing Success YouTube channel. And if you would, please like, comment, and share to help us reach an even wider audience.